Look how amazing that looks. So we spent this weekend in the garage trying to recover from COVID. And we took some time to sand down all our interior pieces, all the trim around the windshield, the doors and everything. I think they call it the interior garnish. But anyway, we sprayed it with some Axalta Rival, the old DuPont Imron product. GM pulled me over red. Got everything sanded, primed, painted. Looks awesome. If you're interested in seeing how we got this done this week, stay tuned. Hey, how you guys doing? I'm recovering from COVID. The last thing I did a couple of weekends ago was I sprayed the Zolatone in the trunk, and before that I spent a full week in between Christmas and New Year's painting Christine, getting her beautiful red and ivory, and everything's looking good. And after I finished spraying that trunk, I knew something was wrong, and I came down with COVID. I've never had it. It's been 4 years now, and I've never had it. This is the first time, and I tell you what, it just sucks the life out of you. And the one thing that I think is difficult to explain is the mental aspect of it. Is it really does cause it can cause depression, and I mean, like, you just become like you're disinterested in everything, and that's where I've been. So it's been 2 weeks since I've been working on Christine, and today's the first day that it's not rained in a week. It's been ugly, but I'm going to try to make a day of it. I've got something that I'm going to do. I'm going to try to soldier on through this, so please stick with me. Let me show you what I'm going to work on in the garage this week. I'm going to try to do something with my interior trim. So I went and picked up all this from where I've been storing all my spare parts, and you can see this is the original color of red that Christine was. And to be truthful with you, even though in the sunlight, the fenders, you can see they look a lot brighter than this does, but here in the garage, I put this out in the sun next to that fender, and you can't even tell the difference. So that's the original red that Christine was, not a factory color red, but just the red that it was always when I owned the car. So these are all of my interior trim pieces that go around the door, around the rear windows, around the windshield. You know, it's all those parts. I've got the glove compartment. I also have the ashtray is somewhere around here, but I'm going to take all this and I'm going to clean this up and do a little bit of work on this, get this, and maybe I'll spray this today. That's what I'm going to try to do. You can see I kept, some people do the delete on the louver on the cowl, but I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get this cleaned up, and maybe we'll get all that painted today. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm still recovering. I don't have a lot of energy, but I'm going to soldier on and try to just make this part of my healing process. So let's go. All right, I got everything disassembled. You know, I had everything taped together, keep everything together. If it went to the glove compartment, I had all that taped together, all the screws that went with it, and my, you know, so I've got all that now in another Ziploc bag. I took the windshield clips off of my louver. There were popper rivets holding on the wind felt. I'm assuming that that was probably originally screwed, but those were aluminum rivets. I'll probably end up having to do the same thing. They had little backing washers on it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to clean all this stuff up and see where I'm at. Some of the paint was kind of peeling up with the tape. So I'm going to see how good it looks once I sand it. I don't know how much priming is going to be required, but let's just see where it goes. My hands are stinging. They feel like springs. Oh man, that vibration will take it out of you. Man, I went through some discs. I'm down to like 2. I was using 120. I got a dust mask on so I don't breathe in any of that crud. So the louver came out better than I thought, but as I was worried, there's a lot of body oil was on some of this stuff. So like, particularly the driver's side. The driver's side on the window here. This was all, paint was kind of like degraded because of the oil. And if you notice, I was going through red and ivory and green and then a dark primer. So these have been painted. They were green from the factory because Christine was originally Sherwood green. And then somebody must have painted them ivory because this car was never ivory on the interior. But that explains some of the residuals I've seen. And then, of course, the red. And there's only one color, red, on it. All right, there were 2 spots that were dented pretty good. You can see right here. So I'm not going to do any body filler, I don't think. I'm going to see if I can't tap those out. I've got them on the driver's side door and then on one of my windshield moldings right up in here. So I'm going to see if I can't undent those, get to them from the back side and see if I can't fix them. All right, I crudely got it done. A little ball peen, El Cheapo body hammer. But I got it pretty good. So I just mixed up a little bit of glazing putty, and I'm gonna just do a little bit right there. I'll do the same thing on that other piece. I've already got it done. This stuff doesn't need to be perfect, but it's this one I'm more concerned about because this is the window trim that is on the driver's side door. And on the driver's side door, who's sitting next to the driver's side door but the driver? Who's the driver? Me. So I want it to look good. All right, a little bit of glazing putty right there. That's all it's going to take. I'll sand that down after it hardens, wipe all this down, and then spray it with primer. All right, I am down to, the last pint or half pint of my Roberto DTM primer. And I just put some in my gun. It's a 4-to-1 high build primer. So I'm gonna hit all this. I've got some plastic laid on the floor. This doesn't have a lot of overspray, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get this sprayed. Since this has a catalyst in it, it ought to cure pretty quickly, so I ought to be able to get this stuff prepped and then maybe painted. Here we go. On. All right, I'm shooting with Axalta Rival. It's the legacy DuPont Imron product. I'm using my detail gun. It's a 1.0 tip. It's a little smaller than what you should use. You should use about a 1.3. But that's what I'm going to shoot it with because I'm just doing little detail stuff. So we'll get away with it. So here we go.
This stuff covers really well. Just a lot of overspray though. A lot. A lot. Huh? Come back. That's a little shop of horrors. Man.
All right, I got my gun cleaned up. They're all done. I got 2 coats on it. I'm gonna let this cure overnight and then we'll come back and I'll show it to you first thing in the morning. See you tomorrow. Well, good morning. Back at it in the garage this morning. Gonna check out these pieces. You know what, yesterday was kind of tough, man. It was the first time I tried to do anything in 2 weeks. And I mean anything. Yeah, COVID really knocks you down, and I'm glad that I did. I'm very glad that I did, because it definitely helped my head, helped me physically, you know, so I was able to get out here in the garage and get something done. So let's check out how it all came out. Well, there it is. Everything's hanging. It all came out good. It really did. You know, front louver for the cowl looks nice. It's got a great shine. All my windshield trim pieces, they all look nice. You know, this stuff is not, this is going to be gorgeous once it's inside of the car. You know, little bitty, teeny tiny little flaws in this you'll never see. It took me a little while to go around this, and because I had, you know, the edges were like a pain in the foot, and I couldn't see in the dark last night when I was shooting, so I was trying to get everything covered. So I think I did a good job, I think. But it all looks good. You know, let's check out the glove compartment cover, the door. You know, this had a lot of orange peel on it before. Also had a few chips in it, and it looks awesome. It looks great. You know, the inside, which I didn't prime, also looks good. You know, look at that. Hey, cup holders in modern day cars, look at that. In 1956, they thought to put little cup indentations, so when, I guess, when you're at the drive-in. But that's going to do it for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Glad you stuck with me. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're enjoying the channel, I'd love a subscription. So hopefully next week I'll be back at it again. You never know. We'll see. I'm hopeful. So until I see you next time, please take care of yourself. Cheers.